Iconography was an essential component to Christianity during the reign of the Byzantine Empire. Icons are essentially religious figures that were painted or sculpted to carry the spirit of the person.
Byzantine iconography is often characterized by its religious expression and is often a depiction of the church's beliefs in an artistic way. There are lots of common themes throughout all icons like judgment, salvation, or about life after death.
Icons can be made from many different medias like marble, ivory, ceramic, mosaic, or even metal. They can be small enough to hang around one's neck and large enough to parade through the streets or to hang in a monastery.
If you have an icon, it is believed you can communicate to the spirit of the figure shown in it. In the 8th century, the use of icons was challenged by Byzantine authorities.
Icons were strongly opposed by many people in Eastern Europe, especially people of Jewish and Islamic belief. Images were banned around the year 730.
There was a lot of archaeological evidence that many icons were destroyed or plastered over because of this debate. The reason for the start of iconoclasm was the fear that people were praying to the actual icon and not the figure that was shown in the icon.
The only notable icons that survived this period were woven ones later found in monasteries or the ones depicted on coins.
Iconoclasm was finally put to an end by Empress Theodora in 843. It was important in iconography that figures were depicted with similar or repetitive characteristics so that they would be recognizable.
At one point, there was even a debate over how Jesus' hair was depicted in these icons.
One of the most famous Byzantine Christian icons is the Virgin Hodegetria, who represents the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus. The original icon was displayed in a monastery in Constantinople.
It was double-sided with a crucifixion on the other side. The original image was either lost or destroyed, but was recreated many times throughout history.
She is pointing to her child, who is seated in her arms to symbolize salvation. According to Italian tradition, the original icon was only an image of her head, but when it arrived in Constantinople, they mounted her head onto a larger image of her whole body, and that is what is known as the original icon of Hodegetria.
It was also believed that she might have been painted from life, and when they brought the icon to Constantinople, they would parade it weekly throughout the streets.
Another popular figure represented in many icons is Archangel Michael. One famous icon of him is a very large ivory relief sculpture that's the largest surviving single piece of ivory from the Byzantine era.
Michael is a symbol of judgment and is often represented as a spirit who guides people into the afterlife. Sometimes he is represented holding a spear or a shield, and other times standing on a body and holding a baby.
The body represents a recently deceased human being, and the baby is a symbol of that human being's soul. He also often looks like he is in the act of killing a person or dragon, which might be a representation of him protecting the world from evil.
Another common image of Michael is one of him holding a scepter in his right hand and a transparent globe in his other hand. On the globe, there are 3 gold initials. The Kappa stands for judge, the Alpha stands for just, and the Chi stands for Christ.
These depictions of different figures in these icons show the kinds of figures people looked up to and worshipped during this time. It also shows the values they stood for, such as salvation and protection by the gods.